Yeah. All right. Is this clean enough? Get off me, you little dog. My little dog. I think I showed her, right? Yeah, I showed her before. She's a pretty girl. So, today's upload is going to be about episode 4 in season 2 of Breaking Bad. This episode is residual. It starts over with residual. Well, yeah. It starts over with residual from last episode. Uh, so Pinkman's in a bit of a situation. I'm trying to think. So Pinkman's in a bit of a situation. Uh, he's lost all his money. Mr. White is pretty reluctant to give him anything. I mean, Pinkman keeps whining about 50-50 this and 50-50 that, but the reality is you lost your half, so I still get to keep my 50 even though you lost your 50. But then it's like, no, 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 no. I need half of your half. It's like, that's not the deal. And those two, Mr. White and Pinkman, go back and forth through the whole episode about that. Mr. White is trying to rebuild his life with his family, but along the way, he realizes that he's been absent for. Well, they tried their best to convey that, but in reality, he only missed giving his son a chance to teach his son how to drive. But it's like big whoop, I guess. That's not that big a deal. It's important for as far as bonding goes. That okay, my opinion on it obviously can say a lot about my past, but that's not strong enough. That's not strong enough. But I see where they're trying to go. I see where the writers are trying to go when they have that in the episode. I see where they're trying to go with it. Oh, he's missing everything. No, he's not. And his wife, her intuition her women's intuition is showing its ugly head in this episode the most. Maybe I shouldn't say ugly head, but she's just not having it. Whatever he's saying, she doesn't believe him. He's trying to convince her otherwise, but of course it's not working. Um, see what else happens. What else happened in this episode? Oh yeah. Let's go back to Pinkman because I think this whole episode is basic. Yeah, I'm not even gonna phrase it like that. I feel like this whole episode is revolving around Pinkman, even though a lot of the other characters uh, have something to do with this particular episode. I still think this is a Pinkman episode, and for good reason because his parents come back into the fold. So they found out what he was doing in the house because while he was dealing with the Tuco situation, he had left all that uh, paraphernalia. No, it's not even paraphernalia. He had left all that stuff all the equipment he used to cook in the basement. Mom finds it, kicks him out. I'm surprised he didn't call the police on him or smash the stuff up. Because I think any other parent would have smashed everything up and called the police on him, or even funnier would have been like, you got to give me some money. But it didn't go down like that. They brought in a lawyer and kicked him out and evicted him that way, which is so hilarious. It is just hilarious. I don't think anything like that would ever happen to me. Yep, and I didn't paint the wall yet. So 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 they go south. He tries, but it doesn't even tries to convince you otherwise. But he's out of there. So now he's riding a motorcycle with like all the possessions he feels he needs, and he can't even. He's calling everybody. Nobody's. Nah, man, can't stay with me. He even looks up another old friend and got it. Basically has his foot in the door, and is denied access. I mean, you got to look at the situation from that standpoint. Hey, you're talking to somebody who has a family. You can't just barge in here, even if it's a 2 bedroom. I have a small child. and my wife. You're a good friend of mine's, but if you can't see that, if you can't see that, if you can't see that you being here is like posing a threat to that, then you're not mature enough. You're not mature in any way, and you're not even thinking on the same wavelength as me, which makes a lot of sense because you don't have a family. So Pinkman's bummed out about that, but you got to understand. Of course, I'm skirting reality here. Of course, this is a fiction-based TV show made for entertainment, and I'm obviously digging really deep into reality. But you know, you got to understand certain things in life. So now he has nowhere to go, and I think after that he had his bike stolen. So now he has no transportation. So he makes his way back to the tow yard that has his motorhome. He's fixed the motorhome, but he's like, hey, they start talking about money. And at this point, I think Pinkman only has about $600 in his pocket. It's like, hey, bro, I don't have it. If you don't have it, then get out. Which I can understand completely because it's as simple as this. We set a price. I did the work. You don't have the money. Do you expect me to hold your hand and rock you to sleep, or what are you expecting from this? You don't have the money, so it's my property now. That's how it works. Oh, I'm forgetting so much. So before they even get to this part, Pinkman climbs the fence and somehow he ends up on top of a porta potty, falls into the porta potty, then crawls out of it like he's been reborn or something, which I thought was hilarious. And then walks his way to the motorhome and he's sleeping in there, smelling of God knows what. And the guy finds him in the morning with, I think, one of the more cliche weapons used for home defense, a shotgun. And you can say what you want to say, but I think the majority of people on planet Earth know the sound of a shotgun racking. It can strike a lot of fear into you. A pump action shotgun would work somebody working the slide. You're like, oh no. It's even scary when there's no shell in there. Um. So then that's the first interaction. The second interaction I've already said. So, but after the second interaction, Pinkman's like, you know what? Not today. So he winds up hopping the fence again and driving to the guy's gate because the guy was going to sell the stuff anyway. And then Pinkman would really have nothing. So after all this, the end of the episode, well, close to the end of the episode, comes to a head when Mr. White is finally fed up with his wife. His wife's attitude towards him. He's trying to convince her. He's trying his hardest to convince her, but she's just not going for it. So they wind up having an argument. She just leaves, which I think is the best thing to do. Hey man, you don't want to talk to me? You don't want to be honest? I'm out of here. No. I want you to see my point of view. There is no point of view. You're lying. Leave. Usually I think no, she's just more level headed. I would like to think that males would think like that in real life. But even though this is a woman's perspective, but after that, she doesn't let it escalate to anything more than a few words yelled in anger. When she's pulling off, Mr. White happens to see Pinkman's RV parked right by his house. So he goes in there and starts to put off all the emotion that he had towards his wife towards him. But Pinkman's had it. He's been through some shit literally. So they get into a fight. It's not a great fight. It's a lot of pushing and neck grabbing and things like that. For some reason, people think when you grab another person's neck, I mean, it can strike fear into you, but somebody grabs your neck like this, and you're like, oh my god, you're gonna kill me. It's like you're not, unless you're super strong. I'll admit that. If you just grab my neck, you're like, oh god, let go. I'm gonna punch you in your face. Actually, no, I'm gonna punch you in your sternum. I'm gonna be nice. I want all the air leave everybody, so I'm gonna punch you in your sternum really hard. You go. Once you do that, then I'm gonna knee you in the head. I guess that's called getting medieval. But anyway, that's from Pulp Fiction, if anybody's wondering. But yeah, I mean, they wind up they wind up doing the they wind up settling the thing. Mr. White winds up giving him half his money. And the end of the episode is Mrs. White sitting in a convenience store parking lot smoking a cigarette while several months pregnant. I think that was done in order to uh, give a picture of the gravity, or give a picture of the level of emotion involved in this episode. It's like you're so stressed that you're willing to put your unborn child's health at danger by smoking a cigarette. All right. Till next upload.